Hey, I just found out some news today that's going to change the game. One of the new executive orders from Trump is changing how Canadians can travel to the United States. They now may need to register in advance with immigration, and they may need to make sure they're carrying their papers at all times.
Papers, please.
Your papers, please. Your papers are not in order.
They're in order.
They are not in order.
Papers? I don't think I have them on me.
Wait, it's possible that yes.
His papers expired 3 weeks ago. You'll have to come along. Halt!
Yep, today we've got some breaking news that could change the game for Canadian snowbirds and any Canadian who loves RVing south for the winter. If you've been rolling your rig across the US border for those long sunny getaways, well, things may have just gotten a lot more complicated. And if you're Canadian, you may need to carry your papers. That's right. The Trump administration just dropped a massive policy shift that could seriously impact how long and how easily Canadians can stay in the US with their RVs. This is part of Trump's Executive Order 14159 called Protecting the American People Against Invasion, which is President Trump's 220th executive order of his presidency and is throwing up new roadblocks for Canadian snowbirds and long-term travelers. So what's changing for Canadian snowbirds and RVers? Now, as a reminder, I am not an immigration expert or an attorney, so if you have any questions or you're considering crossing the border, make sure that you are talking to a professional. Do not take this as advice. Now, for decades, Canadian RVers and snowbirds have had it pretty easy at the border. No visas ever needed, just a quick verbal inspection, maybe a quick check of, what's in their RV. And then you're on your way to sunny Florida, Arizona, California, or wherever your wheels take you. Well, that's over. Under this new rule, if you're staying in the US for more than 30 days, you need now to register with the Department of Homeland Security. Now, this includes providing personal information, in some cases fingerprinting potentially. If you don't, you could be facing some serious fines or even legal trouble. Immigration attorney Rosanna Barati put it bluntly, for the last 28 years of my practice, Canadian citizens would generally be exempt from these types of requirements. It's certainly a shift in policy. And this isn't just about a small handful of travelers. This affects potentially millions of Canadians who head south every year. The numbers don't lie. Let's put this into perspective. Over 1 million of Canadian snowbirds travel south every year, and about 85% of them choose the US. In December 2024 alone, 4.1 million Canadians traveled abroad and over 2.1 million drove into the US. 68% of snowbirds either drive their RVs or their vehicles down to the States instead of flying. And 50% of them own property in the US, at least for now. And 10% of the snowbirds actually own RVs and, stay in their RVs for the travels while they're down south. Florida alone rakes in $6.5 billion a year from Canadian visitors every year. So this is big money, and now that the US is making things just a little harder, a lot of snowbirds are questioning, is it even worth it? So how will this work? So here's what I understand so far. If you're planning to RV south for an extended stay, you may need to, one, make sure that you're issued an I-94 admission record upon entry. I have no idea what that is. Again, I'm a dual citizen. I don't have to fill those out, but this is proof that you legally entered the US and it counts as registration. If you don't have an I-94, you must register online with the US Citizenship and Immigration Service, the USCIS. Now, does this sound simple? It's not exactly, because get this, the registration portal isn't even alive yet. The rule's already in effect, but the actual process to comply, that's still a big question mark. So why are RVers particularly so furious and affected? Well, RVers are planners. We don't just roll up to the border and hope for the best. We plan our routes, we book our campgrounds, and we map out our stays. But now with this vague and rushed policy, a lot of folks are left scrambling with a lot of unknowns. Evan Rachkovsky from the Canadian Snowbird Association, he warns that this could push RVers to look elsewhere. Between this rule, the exchange rates, the boycott movement, 2025 or 2026 could really see snowbirds flocking elsewhere. Maybe Mexico, maybe the Caribbean. And here's another thing. This is a one-way thing. It only applies to Canadians. American RVers can still roll into Canada for months at a time without the same restrictions or special registration. Now, will Canada retaliate with its own version of this rule? We'll have to see. And then, of course, is this part of a bigger travel crackdown? I mean, this isn't just about one registration form. It's about a fundamental shift in how Canadians and Americans move between each other's countries. Historically, Canada and the US had one of the most relaxed border relationships in the world, and now that is definitely changing. Immigration attorney Naresh Gehi, he warns that this will definitely strain our relationship with Canada. Free trade will seriously be impacted. Tourism will take a major blow, especially in the border states that rely on Canadian travelers. Even a 10% drop in Canadian travelers could mean 2 million fewer trips, 14,000 potential lost American jobs, and a major hit to economies in states like Florida and Texas and Arizona, where all the snowbirds head down. So what's next? Well, what you should be doing if you're planning an RV trip in this year, maybe check your I-94 status before crossing the border. Check in with maybe a professional immigration attorney, or check in with border professionals before you head out. If you don't have an I-94 status, you may need to register once the system's actually alive and working. Stay tuned with the immigration services and the Department of Homeland Security announcements. These things are changing fast, and missing an update could mean a serious headache at the border. We've seen already how much the tariff rules are changing from day to day. Consider alternative destinations like Mexico, the Caribbean, even Southern Europe now is becoming more attracted to snowbirds looking to escape the U.S. red tape for some longer-term stays. And be prepared for border delays. With these extra paperwork, confusions, considerations, crossings could take a lot longer than normal. We'll have to see. And here's my final thoughts, and will this rule even stick? First of all, in full disclosure, as a dual U.S. Canadian citizen who's actually born in the USA, these restrictions should not apply to me or other dual citizens like me. This will be for Canadians without U.S. citizenship. Right now, advocacy groups and politicians are pushing for an exemption for Canadians. There's a chance this rule could be walked back or adjusted just like the tariffs, but as for now, it's in effect and something you need to be prepared for. So what do you think? Are you going to be rethinking your winter plans going down to the States? Will you jump through hoops to take the RV somewhere else? Drop your comments below. I'd like to know, especially if you're a snowbird. Does this have you concerned? Have you been looking into this? What's your experience with this immigration form? I'm sure it's going to change, and if I hear any substantial changes about this, I'll try to put out an update. If you're a snowbird, definitely stay tuned to the news. Start your Google searches now, and maybe get in touch with an immigration consultant. Hope you found this video useful, and I hope it earned your subscription. If so, please click the subscribe button, maybe click like, and definitely comment below with what you're thinking about this. I'd like to hear everyone's thoughts on this. This is very new, and I couldn't find a lot on it other than a handful of news reports that just came up. So as we approach camping season, stay safe, stay informed, do your planning, and of course, get busy living.